Hello, welcome to the Bad Hair Show. We've got the lovely Alan present.
Thank you very much.
By the way,
and the almost lovely Mike.
you got a request.
I've got a request.
Somebody requested when you were coming back on the
Who?
YouTube channel. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, but I will give you a shout out in the comments. I do apologise, but yeah.
What's our name?
That was definitely a guy. I'm sorry, Alan. Definitely a guy.
Well, any request is more than welcome.
That's more than I get as well. Anyway, so we're here with the brand new Traxxas TRX4, which is a officially licensed Land Rover Defender. Because you can tell it's got all the right symbols on it, etc.
Well, you can see this side. This is what it looks like. Is the red? I think it's a slightly different colour when you see that, but that's red.
Yeah, that's the red
anyway.
one.
It's more like a. Is it burgundy when you see it?
It's kind of like the same colour as the G-Mate Komodo, and then you've got the gunmetal grey, which is proper Defender.
Really
colour.
nice. It's that again. It's probably nicer when you see the shell.
That's what the.
We'll keep looking down here because it's on the floor. When you see the shell.
Can not unbox it. No, it's kind of what the FTX Outback was trying to aim for, but couldn't.
Yeah, it's not quite. Yeah.
Anyway, look.
It's a nicer colour.
It's a ready-to-run truck. It comes with a 3S compatible LiPo and a 21-ton motor, which I thought was too high for a trail truck.
That's actually pretty good,
But
3S, isn't it? 3S LiPo capable, but it's technically not ready to run, as in the fact that you need a battery and a charger. It doesn't come with a battery and charger.
You also need double A's for the transmitter. But I thought the 21-ton Titan was too quick for a sort of crawler, but you informed me that it's actually got a 2-speed gearbox.
Yeah,
it's got a low and high range. Brilliant. And this is really difficult for me because traditionally I've not liked Traxxas.
You don't like Traxxas, do you?
I don't like Traxxas very much. But this is about the most un-Traxxas Traxxas ever.
It is totally different for a Traxxas, isn't it?
Yep, let's put it down.
Let's pretend we're taking out the box.
And here you are. How un-Traxxas is that? It looks axial through and through. But
what's nice as well is it's the right size, and it is obviously a 110 Defender.
Yeah,
and
the long wheelbase one, in other words. But it's actually a hard body, isn't it? Yeah, it's a soft hard body. It's a bit weird. It's like a lightweight hard body, almost.
I think it's thick Lexan, but it's just because it's got all this stuff behind
plastic,
it really stiffens it, but it is Lexan.
Okay, fair enough.
But I think just with the mud guards and everything,
it does feel solid, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of weight to it.
So,
and obviously the detail on the shell as well.
Oh, what detail? I'll do that first, actually.
The roof rack.
I'll get the camera. The
jack, fuel, spare tyre.
Excuse me while I remove the camera.
A usable spare tyre. Some of them are fake.
Yeah, that's a real spare.
And then you've got all these arches in, and it's quite good. You've got the flared kits on it. And
it's smart. It's really nice. It's really nice.
Look at the grill and everything.
It's so accurate because it's officially licensed. They can get it as accurate as possible. I bet you can get light kits for it. Unless does it have a light kit? No.
No.
But I bet you can.
You would have thought so.
Oh,
it looks
absolutely.
Because they're like the see-through plastic, and the sticker design is underneath the light, so it does look quite 3D-ish.
Exactly. What I like what's un-Traxxas about it is, first of all, obviously it's a scale-looking truck, and that's a first for them. It's a new truck, and they don't do new ones very often. I mean, before the X-Max, I can't even remember the last time they did a new one. And none of the plastics are grey, which is good. And it's mostly metal.
To be fair on Traxxas, the grey plastic is a really high quality plastic, but it doesn't look as good, does it?
It doesn't,
so
no.
I think they've just put it on, they tend to put it where they think they need it, so there's a bit there and a bit there. That's the only bits that I've seen.
Like the diff housing on the real thing.
Yeah, it almost looks like it could be metal, but it is that harder nylon kind of good quality.
So what do you get for your money then? Let's have a look. Well, there's the motor I was talking about. On crawling mode, it's nice and slow, but then on higher on the higher mode, on the what do you call it? Oh, mine's gone
like low box and high box.
Yeah, on the high box, it's not fast. It's trail truck speed. You know, you take it through the forest trails or whatever, and just guddle around with it.
I'm surprised that's 3S compatible. It must take the voltage down for a brush. Surely you wouldn't have thought that would take 12 volt, but maybe.
Brushed motors were designed originally with 12 volts before they went to 7.2 nickel metal hydrides in NiCads.
So you've got your battery clip. That's quite a good design, this new battery. So you've no actual body clips for the battery. It swings around on that pivot here.
That's cool.
So you just
clip it in, it won't come back out again until you press that there.
Got dual servos, one for the steering, one for the gearbox, is it?
This is now. All these servos are to do with gearbox and.
Oh yeah, the steering servo's down on the front axle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just above it.
So steering. This is the first time I've had a proper good look at it.
First time I've ever seen it.
We've yeah. So your steering servo's there, as you suppose you do get with crawlers. Now these are like your diff lock servos. So it's got like a push pull rod here.
Diff locks.
So
that's the thing. If you hold up for me, hold up the front. Because look, this has diffs. Look at that, which is completely unique for trail trucks and crawlers because they're usually solid axle, but this has diffs.
See now I've
and then he's locked
just
it by
moved
pulling the
that
cable,
there.
and he locked it up and it becomes a crawler. So you can, for example, put it on high range. Range was the word I was looking for, by the way. You put it on high range and then unlock the diffs and it becomes a nice trail truck. But if it gets bogged down, or if you want to go slower and crawl through mud or whatever, diff lock.
And low box, which is here. You've got your low box servo there. So that's push pull in the gearbox to change its gear.
Very smart.
And obviously, with it being on servos, it's all controllable from the handset.
I'll tell you that the tyre compound is super sticky. Super soft and super sticky tyre compound. That'll be brilliant at crawling. Really.
Another thing, while we're about the wheels, it's got portal axles on them as well.
They grip these wheels. Look. It's absolutely gripping into the glass. It won't let go.
That's what they do. They're nice.
They're really squishy.
They're really
anyway, sorry, what were you saying? I was getting
it's just because we're about the wheels there. It's got portal axles on them as well.
Axles, which is the sort of it's non-defendery, but it works better for a scale crawler.
Yeah.
Because you get more clearance on the diff housing, because then the drives go up, basically.
Yeah. So you've got your diff housings here. The portal's like, I suppose, like a Unimog, if you know what a Unimog is.
Yeah.
It just basically puts the wheel axles here, and then I suppose your diff axle or your drive shafts down the middle from the diff.
G-Made used that feature with the R1, something similar. So what we're saying is, you look from the front,
just lift your diffs up.
Yeah.
Because that's half.
Drive goes down.
You can lift these things up as high as you want, but the diffs are always going to be at the same height.
Yeah, my own one had that problem with the clearance of the diff.
My real Jimny had that. I used to have a Jimny all done up for off-road.
Jacked up and everything,
and you could put it as high as you want, but the diff still bottomed out. So that would have been a good... Kind of wasted on a Jimny.
Now,
would have been a good...
Is this physically bigger than an Axial SEX10, or is it just me? Because I think it looks bigger.
Not, I think
you don't have an Axial...
It looks very similar, but...
It looks longer, I believe.
Bigger.
Yeah.
When you see it with the shell on, it definitely looks...
Yeah, it's more impressive.
It just looks such a big
I like the
car,
fake winch in the front. Obviously you can get a real winch. It's got working winch points, or what you want to call them. 2 points. 2 points is the word.
Aye, D-links, sorry, I call them, A little, the winch looks
Snorkel's cool.
As well.
Yep.
I know,
so it's very un-Traxxas apart from the price, because the price is still very much Traxxas.
Yeah, the recommended retail for it is $499.99.
So £500. It's £500. But you are in sort of the right sort of ballpark, aren't you? Really, because an RC 4-wheel drive would set you back.
Well, how much?
At least that much.
If you think about how much an Axial is, you would pay. You could be paying $300-400 for an Axial without the diff locks on it.
Yeah.
Still with no battery and charger.
Without the...
and people do buy that. So if you were to buy an Axial, let's say, and try and put diff locks on, which I would imagine would be a nightmare, that's already done.
And the Axial doesn't have the selectable higher... Exactly, yeah.
So you've got kind of almost a few different cars or combinations out of it. You could run it fast, you could run it slow, you could crawl with the diff locks, you could just run it normally.
Yeah. It actually feels like the whole overall, it feels extremely well made. The quality of the materials. Yeah.
And I think if you did roll it, there's a lot of plastic holding this Lexan together, so
yeah, because it's got the cage, etc. And that's what fooled me, because when it's mounted to the truck, it feels really strong. That's why I thought, initially I thought, is that a hard body? Because it really is quite strong.
It'll be thick, decent quality Lexan as well.
Yeah,
not like some of the cheaper ones.
Yeah, probably more reliable than a real Defender, I would say. So yeah, I'd love to have a shot of it, but obviously Alan has to sell it, so...
No, I'm trying not to take it home myself, I think. It's one of these ones where it'd be good.
Oil-filled shocks, threaded bodies, adjusting the ride height dead quick. 4-link suspension, obviously. Telescopic drive shafts, which are plastic, which surprised me, but I suppose there isn't a huge amount of torque.
The thing is, the brushless Revo has plastic drive shafts. So,
yeah, it's also good at breaking them.
Yeah, I was good at breaking them anyway.
Very good at breaking them.
But
well, there's got to be a Traxxas somewhere. I like the skid plate. I like the way these links are integrated in and stuff. I bet that would slide over the rocks properly and stuff. This with the diff locks in and on low range, this would be a fantastic rock crawler, I reckon. It strikes me.
Go for a little wander, with the.
It's almost
walk somewhere through like near us, like Dunkeld Hermitage. You've got like wooded area and little streams, and you could go through stuff like that. It'd be good going for a little walk with it.
And
they're not, if you're out in public as well, they're not like 60 mile an hour. You're going to hurt somebody.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm always scared when I'm using a really fast RC when there's people about. But what is kind of like the design brief almost says to me, let's try and make something that has a sort of RC 4-wheel drive features, but with sort of axial capability. Because an RC 4-wheel drive Glenda 2 is a fantastic vehicle, but it's not as capable because it's heavier, because it's more realistic. It's not as capable as an SCX10. This is kind of like a balance between the two, isn't it?
It's a nice car.
That is really nice.
A lot of people always want metal on stuff, but it's metals. I mean, if you land
plastic
if you bend a bit of metal, it's going to stay bent.
Of course,
plastic's just going to go back.
Back. And it is that sort of pliable plastic.
It's not cheap Chinese plastic. It is a very, very good
cheap Chinese plastic. I bet it says made in China on it.
Well, I'm not saying
made in Taiwan. No, you're right.
The wrong way to.
No, I know what you mean. Everybody knows what you mean.
But people. Yeah, it's probably a bit of a.
Everything's made in China.
Correct way of saying it, but cheaper branded cars.
Yeah.
Have very cheap brittle plastic, and it doesn't flex. It doesn't like that.
Yeah.
It's just going to bend back. Same with HPI. You'll find that with like major brands. It's just slightly better plastic.
Yeah. So those look absolutely, quality. But the question for you, Alan, is: would you have one at £500 of your own money?
I think I would have one at that.
Yeah. I'm torn. Very much torn.
Of like if that's what you want, if you wanted something that looks as good as that, I mean, I wouldn't mind a real Defender, but I can't justify it. So you could almost justify that.
Yeah.
It would look good sitting on the shelf when you weren't using it.
It would
look
fantastic.
Just be a random
absolutely.
RC car. It'll look good.
I mean, it's one of the best looking RCs I've ever seen. It's absolutely stunning. I mean, there's no getting away from that. That is a stunning truck.
My personal issue is not one that anyone else would have a grumble with. But I don't use steering wheel radios, so that's the only thing. If I wanted to make it personal to me,
do you have the radio here?
I would have to get a decent 4-channel stick radio.
Do you have the radio here? No.
The radio will be in the box.
All right, just to show everybody.
Put the car out for display purposes.
Just so that we show everybody. This is such a higgledy-piggledy video. But that's just classic us. So there you go. You got your. You can add You can ruin the looks by adding Traxxas stickers to remind everybody it's not.
If I was organised, or Mike, you could actually edit. This would be a better video.
Yeah. Put Traxxas stickers on it to make it look like an RC rather than a miniature real one. But anyway, so it's that's the. Basically, it's a classic Traxxas radio. They all look like that. 2.4 gigahertz. What's that for? Is that for like if you get a winch fitted?
Well, we've not looked at the instructions
or any sealed.
Other,
we don't want to open
other YouTube video regarding this car.
No.
So we haven't, or I haven't had a go. But I would imagine that that's high and low box.
Oh,
and I would imagine that that's your diff, because you could probably have. This is the probably video. Like a rear diff and a both diff lock. You'd have 2 settings. That I know that's what it was on. Like the Summit and stuff like that.
Oh, it will be then. Yeah, you'll be right. Yeah. So there we are. There we are. A bitty video, an all over the place video. Oh, and by the way, you can only get it in Tay Models at the moment because I don't think it's available in the rest of the UK yet. So
no, you will have them.
Yeah. They weren't out yet.
I thought you said Scotland. Probably the only place in Scotland I would imagine you get one. I would imagine.
Probably. Okay, well there you go.
They are about. They're very, very hard to come by at the minute. I ordered one of each colour initially because I'd never seen them. I didn't know what they were like. I didn't want to order too many, just to have a look, and I only got one. So
okay. Right. Well, apologies for how higgledy-piggledy this video was, but it's the first time in a while we've been playing around. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
It's a nice colour when you see it. I don't know if the video's showing that, but it's just.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah.
Because of it just kind of goes light and dark around the curves and stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Right, well thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you like the look of this new Traxxas. I certainly do, and I don't like Traxxas, so there we are. Right guys, thanks for watching.
Cheers guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Forgot to mention something. Forgot to mention Alan's selling some new old stock essentially. And
brand new, yeah. Sorry, I thought you were just looking at yourself in the camera.
No.
Pointing at me looking really.
So
like it
if you need motor brushes, Alan is the man for motor brushes.
That's just a small amount.
Motor brushes. You want some motor brushes? There's some motor brushes. Basically, these are what these are.
Let me some brushes there.
Thank you, thanks for that. Yeah, these are the ones from modified motors, modified brush motors.
Slit brushes.
Yes, and they're also known as stand-up brushes. They call them on this when they sit on their side, as opposed to lay-down brushes like that for stock motors. Is that right? It is right.
I think so.
Yeah, these are modified brush motors. So what you can do is get hold of Alan, either give him a phone
shop if you want,
or email and arrange something, because I know I bought
probably
brushes.
Probably one of the only places in the world that's selling brushes.
I know.
In the era of brushless motors.
So difficult to get hold of brush motors now, especially for modifieds and stuff. Yep. There we go. That's just something else to chuck in the video there. Right. Bye.
Slayers.